It's a divine grace that made me to enter into this project in 1971. The beginning of my Vedic studies actually is part one of the project. It made me to get prepared in subject wise. But actual project wise, it is 1991 which actually culminated ultimately into this present status of preservation and propagation of Vedic wisdom. In 1991, there were Pushkarams for Godavari river. So I went to Raimandri. In the mornings we completed our rituals, and in the afternoon I had gone to the exhibition, Pushkaram exhibition at Raimandri. Then I purchased a book called as Arsha Vijnana Sarvaswam, published by Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams. It's surprising that book has given a lot of information about the contents of Vedas quantitatively and qualitatively. Quantitatively in the sense, everybody knows that the Vedas are 4 in number. But he has described how many Veda Shakhas were there at different points of time. It mentioned that there were 1131 branches were there earlier. And also it has given how many branches are there, or which are being studied at least. It mentioned that only 7 branches of Vedas are being studied throughout the world. It means that 1124 branches of Vedas are lost forever. Normally, we don't use the word lost. We say they disappeared. But what is the authority to say that so many branches were there? Then I made a study from various sources and I found 3 books actually giving the details of this number of branches for the Vedas. The first book, which is the oldest book which I could access, was Sri Bhagavata Purana, written in Sanskrit, written by Vedavyasa Maharshi. The 12th skandha, Dwadasha skandha of the Bhagavata Purana contains how many branches were made out at the beginning of the Kali Yuga. There it has given Rigveda was made into 21 branches, Yajurveda into 101 branches, Samaveda into 1000 branches, and Atharvaveda into 9 branches. This actually information we should time-wise, if you want to find out. Bhagavatam was written by same Vedavyasa Maharshi, who is the source for all this Mahabharata. Mahabharata's period is given as 5000 years. More correctly to say about 5200 years. So Bhagavata Purana also may be given the timing of about 5200 years. That is about 3200 years BC approximately. That is by the time so many branches were existing. Second book I could find out was Patanjali's Mahabhashya of Vyakarana. There one paragraph is there. Uparabdhau prayatnah kritam mahan shabdasya prayoga vishyaha saptadvipa vasmati trayo lokah chatvaro vedah sangah sarhasyah bahudha bhinnanah yakavanshidha bahujam yakasatamadharya shekha sahasravatma samavedah navasa atharvama vedah. Repeat. Navasa atharvama vedah vako vakyam itihasah puranam ityatavat shabdasya prayoga vishyam anavishya sancha prayukta idvachanam sahasmatrameva. That is, the context actually if you want to explain. A teacher asked his student to find out, he has given a small assignment, he has given a word and asked the boy to search in what books this word is found. The boy has gone through certain few limited number of books and ultimately declared, "Sir, this word is never used anywhere." Then the teacher got angry. He says, "You should have said that the word is not found in the books which you have referred. But how can you say that the word is not never used at all? You have not seen the spread of the literature. The literature, Sanskrit literature is spread. Saptadvipa Vasmati, all the 7 continents it has gone. It is possible. Anywhere. Trayo Lokaha, Chatvaro Vedaha, Sangaha." Like that, actually, while giving the entire description of the spread of the Vedic literature, there he mentions that Veda was having 21 branches, Yajurveda was having 101 branches, Samaveda was having 1000 branches, and Atharvana Veda was having 9 branches. All put together 1131 branches. But the timing of Patanjali is, if you see, the modern historians they give as about 300 or 400 BC for Patanjali. So from today onwards backwards, if you see, it comes to about 2400 years or 2300 years. That is, by that time also, so many branches must be existing, otherwise he would not have noted in his book. The third book of reference, what I could gather is Sri Shankara Bhagavad-pada's commentary on Sri Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra. There is one word is there, Sarvadrug Vyasaha. While commenting upon that word, again Sri Shankaracharya again mentions how many number of branches were existing at his time, during his time. Again he mentions about approximately about 1131. That is 5200 years back, the 1131 branches were existing. 2300 years back, 1131 branches were existing. About 1200 years back, because Sri Shankaracharya's time is taken as about 800 AD. So about 1200 years back, also so many branches were existing. So for last 150 years, the search was being made to locate all the Veda Shakhas. And the result is only 7 branches. That is the loss, the disappearance of these Veda Shakhas must have occurred during the last 1200 years only. Normally people say, yes, we lost the freedom, we got the freedom. Of course, we must have suffered for a period of 1000 years. But actually, we got back our freedom. But actually, it's not the case. I lost my purse on the road, got back my purse, but without money. Is equivalent to that. Where this 1131 branches, where is this 7 branches? 6 more branches are said to be located, but there are no gurus, there are no sishyas, no teachers, no disciples. So virtually, because Veda is totally a grantha related with Uchcharana and Anucharana, that is recitation following the Guru, we have to count only as 7 as the ultimately residue part of the Vedic branches that are available today. This information was briefly given in that Arsha Vijnana Sarvasva. It made me to think of, if we lost about more than 1000 branches in 1000 years time, how much time it may take for these 7 branches also to be lost. If the same conditions continue. Virtually the same conditions are continuing. Negligence. Yes, that is a major reason. The persons who are supposed to study, they are not studying. They left it. So, if the same system continues, the existing 7 branches also may live maximum for another 50 years or 100 years. Maximum. If something has happened before we are born, we could not do anything. If something happens after our expiry, then also we cannot do anything. But before our eyes, something is going to happen, then we will be held responsible. Sri Kanchi Paramacharya, at one time he declared, if at all there is any break during this present generation in the study of the Vedic Shabda, then you will be treated as a criminal, nothing short of it. Because knowing the problem and knowing the solution, you have not applied the solution. So, all this background has made me to think of alternatives. Can we start a Veda Pathshala to preserve the existing Veda Shakhas, or go for an alternative? Then I thought, already several Veda Pathshalas are there. they are teaching the existing Veda Shakhas to the students excellently well. Almost they have preserved the Veda Shabda as it was available during Veda Vyasa's time. The same Swara is being maintained today also. There is no doubt about it. But quantitatively, we lost heavily. So even for preservation of the existing things, then I thought, why can't we use the latest technologies, that is computer technologies? My profession being computers. I did my computer science actually in 1969 after my MSc. But I joined in computer service from 1971 onwards. So with this background actually I thought, let us start recording the Veda Shakhas, the real Veda Shakhas immediately with top priority.